Okay, so today we are going to see how the unit circle is derived. And this on the main page, this is the unit circle. If you've taken anywhere from high school or college math, you've definitely seen this. So let's go ahead and get started in. So this is the unit circle we are going to be filling in, and I have already gone and put all the radians and all of the degrees on it, and the points for the simple points. So you should already have all this memorized and know all of this. Okay, so the unit circle comes from two special triangles. It comes from a 45, 45, 90 triangle and a 30, 60, 90 triangle. So for the first point on the unit circle, if we draw our first quadrant of the unit circle, the first one we are going to be getting is this first point right here. So if you look at that, this is going to be a 30, 60, 90 triangle, okay? So the radius of the unit circle is 1. So that means the hypotenuse of this triangle is going to have to equal 1. So if we look on our 30, 60, 90 triangle right here, the hypotenuse is equal to 2x. So if we set this equal to this, 2x equal to 1, which x equals 1/2, that will give us our x value, which we then can plug in here and here to get the other 2 points. So if we take 1/2 and plug it into our long side, which is x square roots of 3, so 1/2 square root of 3, that is going to equal square root of 3 over 2, which is where we get our x value right here, square root of 3 over 2. So we're going to go and fill in this point. And then for our short side, which will be right here, we are going to have just x is equal to 1/2. So that means this is going to be equal to 1/2 and our y value is going to be 1/2. So that's how you get the first quadrant. So if we go back to this, our first point is going to be square root of 3 over 2, 1/2. Okay. So now if we go on to the next point on the first quadrant of the unit circle, that's horrible, which is going to be right here, we are going to have a 45, 45, 90 triangle, okay, which is going to be this triangle. So now if we look, since the radius of the unit circle is 1, hypotenuse right here is going to have to equal 1. So we can take x square roots of 2, set it equal to 1, divide both sides by the square root of 2, and x is going to equal 1 over the square root of 2. And then when we rationalize this, it's going to give us square root of 2 over 2. So that means x is going to equal the square root of 2 over 2. So we can take and plug in that for this x value and this x value. Square root of 2 over 2, 2 over 2. And that gives us our x is square root of 2 over 2, and our y is square root of 2 over 2. So then we can go back to our big circle and go ahead and plug that in. Square root of 2 over 2, square root of 2 over 2. Okay, so now for the last and final point on the unit circle, or for the first quadrant for that matter, is right here. And this again is going to be a 60, 30, 90 triangle. So then again, because the radius of the unit circle is 1, our hypotenuse right here is going to have to equal, does not look like a 1. Our hypotenuse is going to have to equal 1 for this triangle. So if we go up here and set, again, 2x equal to 1, that's going to give us x is equal to 1/2. So then again, if we just plug in 1/2 square roots of 3, that's going to give us a square root of 3 over 2, which this time, since this is our long side, it's going to give us this side, the square root of 3 over 2, which is equal to our y value on this point. And then if x is equal to 1/2, that's going to give us the x value on this point. So that's going to give us 1/2 square root of 3 over 2. So then if we go back to this one, not this one, our big unit circle, we're going to have 1/2 square root of 3 over 2 right there. So now that's pretty simple. That's a lot more simple than you'd think it would be. So then the points on the triangle actually correspond to these angles right here. So the angle that's down here at the bottom is always going to be the angle of that point on the unit circle. So now to get the other 3 quadrants, it's actually, oh my god, it's actually very, very simple. So to do this, what we are going to do is take and just use transformations to get these from one side to the other. So we're just going to go straight across, just like this. So then the one thing that you have to know in order to do this is, I always like to list it out, since this is our first quadrant, this is our second, this is our third and fourth. So in the first quadrant, if you think about it, our x values, our x values and y values are both going to be positive. So up here we're going to have a positive and a positive. Over here our x values are going to be negative, but our y values are still going to be positive. Down here we are going to have negative x values and negative y values, and then over here we're going to have negative x values but positive y values. So whenever we transform this over, this is going to give us negative 1/2 square root of 3 over 2, negative square root of 2 over 2, just square root of 2 over 2, and then negative square root of 3 over 2, 1 over 2. So then when we transform these down, this one is going to give us negative square root of 3 over 2, negative 1/2, negative square root of 2 over 2, negative square root of 2 over 2, and negative square root of 3 over 2, negative 1 over 2. So then finally we're going to transform these over, which will give us negative square root of 3 over 2, 1 over 2, negative square root of 2 over 2, square root of 2 over 2, and negative square root of 3 over 2, 1 over 2. And then just to check our work, to make sure we did this right, we can transform all of these back up, just like so. And these match. And yeah, that is how you find the points on the unit circle.